Herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play The Cat Lady. So, wir sind mit Minzi unterwegs, oder wie sie heißt. Sie soll sich doch mal bitte den Laptop angucken.
Right. Let's do it.
Is that you, Mrs. Ashworth? What happened?
No idea. Maybe it's a blackout, like in the old days.
It's probably just the meter. Let me see.
Jetzt kriegt Kind und Mutter einen üblen Stromschlag und sind beide tot.
So it's not her either.
Vollkommen umsonst.
What a waste of time. It's time to leave. This interview is over.
So, dann flieh mal schnell, bevor der Strom wieder angeht.
I don't get it. The cable's been cut. But why would anyone do that?
I think we're going to go now. This whole power cut gave me a terrible headache.
Was that you, Jesse? But we haven't finished yet. Have you changed your mind about the job?
No, of course not. I'm just scared of darkness. And I still feel sick, you know. Perhaps we can continue some other time.
Mensch, die sind aber eine Menge.
Getting a new fuse box.
Was that you, Jesse?
Yeah. How are you doing, Pauline?
Well, we need the power back. Can you do something?
Yeah, I can easily fix that. There's an electrical store that's open till late. I'll get some stuff and I'll be back before you know it.
Bear in mind it's not just the fuse box, it's the cable this time.
I'll get a new cable too, don't worry. But in the meantime, go home, find some candles and chill, yeah?
Thanks, Jesse. That's awfully nice of you.
Well, it was great seeing you, but we're going to leave now.
Hello,
Who's that?
my name is Rita.
Ach du Kacke.
Rita, who? What the hell is going on here? Do you know this woman, Mrs. Ashworth?
I've never seen her before in all my life.
So, in welcher Etage sind wir jetzt? Wieder zu Hause? Ja.
Now she'll think we are absolutely crazy.
I wouldn't worry too much. You're not exactly the most popular neighbor in the house anyway.
Thanks.
What? You don't actually care what those idiots think, do you?
No, of course not. It's just that Pauline seems all right. I'm not too proud of causing her all this trouble.
It'll get fixed soon. Look, Jesse's gone out. We can now get inside flat 7 and see what he's been up to.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
We can also cross Pauline off the list. I've searched through her internet history, and needless to say, there's nothing exciting there.
Ja, aber der in 7 es scheint auch nett zu sein eigentlich, ne? Ich tippe immer noch drauf, dass es der Bryan ist, der sowieso durchdreht. Der kannte sehr wahrscheinlich auch die und fand es okay, dass die uns umbringen. Also die der Unkrautvernichter, Ungeziefervernichter. Okay, gehen wir mal nach oben wieder. So, mit der Schere kann ich ja auch das Kleid bestimmt kaputt machen. Ah, da muss ich das erstmal wieder für hinhängen bestimmt, ne? Einfach auf wird wohl kaum sein, okay. Dann muss das Mitzi machen.
Now that he's gone, we can get inside.
Yes, let's do that.
I'll close my eyes and you pick that lock, Mitzi.
Okay, but no peeking.
I'd never. You've really hurt my feelings now.
Yeah. Now close them.
Ist das sowieso total dunkel. Kein Mensch sieht was. Da, Job erledigt. Fehlt der Sound wieder.
Jesus, are these...
masks, Mrs. A. They're just Halloween masks.
Okay.
Oh, good. That's good. Because I swear, if I see another bloody head...
Also am krassesten war ja auf jeden Fall bisher die... Oh, was brauchen wir denn davon? Ich hasse Clowns zu sehr, ich würde die Maske hier lieber nicht nehmen. Also am krassesten fand ich immer noch den Anfang mit dem Dr. X. Also das fand ich am krassesten da, mit den ganzen Leichen, die er zu Bildern gemacht hat. Fürchterlich schwitzen. Also bleibt uns nur die Hosky-Maske übrig. Michael Myers, ne? Halloween. Oder nee, warte mal, es war auf Freitag der 13. Jason Voorhees, ne? Oder die hatten beide? Weiß ich gar nicht mehr. Ja, die hatten beide, glaube ich, so eine. Ziemlich große Pflanze. Dieser Lautsprecher ist riesig. Und er ist mit Jessys Computer verbunden. Immer wenn er Musik hört, müssen die Wände wackeln. Ah, deswegen ist er auch so laut. Die berüchtigte Lärmquelle. Das klappt nicht. Scheinbar hat jemand den Strom abgestellt. Das klappt nicht, ne? Kein Strom. Können wir dieses Verlängerungskabel da dran machen? Nö. Wir hatten noch ein Kabel, oder? Ne. Nicht zwei Kabel? Steckdose. Untersuchen. Jays PC ist hier eingesteckt. Wenn wir nur Zugang zu einer funktionierenden Steckdose hätten. Die Steckdose ist also kaputt. Ich kann etwas vom Spätabendverkehr durch das offene Fenster hören. Mhm.
So, who's got windows over this side of the building?
Now this is a dress worthy of the cat widow. But I'm not going there again. I want to make that clear. I guess we could also check one flat below Joe's. I just hope the cable's long enough.
Let's find out, shall we?
Okay, das wird kein Problem sein. Das ist die unterste Wohnung rechts gewesen und da haben wir auch schon eine Steckdose gesehen. Ich vermute, die Skimaske brauchen wir für unsere Verkleidung. Und wir müssen mal nach unten gehen und schauen, ob wir mit dem Schraubenzieher oder der Schere auch das rote Teil aufmachen können. Aus dem roten Farbeimer. Ja, super, das reicht doch sogar bis hierhin. Und wieder ab nach oben. Oder sollen wir erstmal runtergehen? Komm, wir gehen erstmal nach oben und schauen, was damit ist. Aber wir müssen so viele Sachen finden, um den einen auszuwischen, der direkt unter uns gewohnt hat, der sich aufgeregt hat wegen der Lautstärke unseres Klaviers. Ich vermute, dass das auch der Finale ist und den wir überhaupt suchen. Sonst bräuchten wir nicht so viele Sachen aus den anderen Wohnungen, um endgültig bei ihm das zu machen.
Right. I should be able to use that computer now. Could you give me 5 minutes, Mrs. A?
Sure. Why not? I'll keep an eye on the door.
Ah, da müssen wir den jetzt bestimmt wieder aufhalten.
It's not him either. Oh, damn it!
Tja, dann bleibt nur noch Wohnung 6 übrig, der Bryan, wie ich es mir gedacht habe. Los geht's. Erdgeschoss. Hängen wir erstmal das Kleid auf und zerschneiden es. So, ein bisschen rumschnibbeln. Du kannst hier nicht schneiden. Aber bitte mit den Schild sind, okay.
We need to make some adjustments.
Go for it.
Now
Okay.
this is a dress worthy of the cat widow.
Why don't you admit it was too small for you?
Ha ha, bloody ha. Why don't you just shut up? Whoever wore this dress probably hadn't eaten in years. You'd struggle to get a skeleton into it.
Okay. Dann... So, das noch aufhören. Schere ist jetzt verschwunden, also muss es ja hier mitgehen. Oder mir fehlt ein Gegenstand. Das kann ich einfach mit dem Schraubenzieher aufbrechen. Sehr gut. Fertig. Jetzt kann ich die Dose mitnehmen. Warum ich sie einfach nicht so schon hätte mitnehmen können, weiß ich auch nicht. Weil man Gegenstände im Inventory nicht abmacht von
This
alleine.
is it. We've got all we need.
Great. Are you going to tell me about the cat widow now?
Yes, it's story time, Mitzi. The legend says there was once a bad man who hated cats.
Er hasste auch seine Nachbarn und seinen Job. Und wenn es regnete, fluchte er und zerstörte Dinge. Da fehlt wieder die Sprachausgabe.
He hated his bald head and his weak, ugly body. He probably hated himself the most, although he would never admit it.
I think I see where this is going.
One day, out of pure hatred for the whole world and everything that lives, he captured a family of cats and drowned them all in the river. That day, the sun turned black and all the birds went silent as the 6 kittens struggled for life. But trapped in a strong canvas bag, they never had a chance. They all died that day. All but one. The mother cat, in a desperate fight to set herself free, by pure luck, clawed her way out of the bag and swam to the shore. She stayed on the bank of the river for a while. The world stopped turning for her, her eyes empty and blind. Her heart crashed into pieces as she watched their limp dead bodies stolen by the current. Running after them, she followed them for days, for as long as she could. Then, eventually, she lost sight of them. She stayed on the bank of the river for a while. The world stopped turning for her, her eyes empty and blind. And then, one day, she slowly slid down the bank and into the cold, dark water. She gave in to it. She let the river take her away too, cover her mouth, her ears, her eyes. But as the water filled her lungs, and she started slipping into darkness, there was another strange feeling that burst in her mind like a ball of flames. Anger, rage even. Her last craving, before she drowned, was for revenge, for blood. And so she returned, reborn and changed, a cat widow, veiled in black, mistress of the cats.
Also trifft
Her
das auch
body
genau
of a
auf sie
young
alles zu.
woman, but her eyes of a cat, and her face, white, rotten, face of a corpse. Those who saw it rarely lived to tell the tale. She would get her revenge on all cat killers and cat torturers. But there was someone she had to see first. Someone special. Someone she really hated the most. As the evening came, it was strangely quiet in the man's flat. As he lived alone, he usually liked to fill the silence with the sound of radio or TV shows. But that night, he switched them all off, feeling anxious and tired after work. He tried to sleep, but couldn't. And for once, there wasn't anyone there he could blame for it. As he stared through the window, he kept thinking about how much he hated that view. He liked it once, a long time ago, when his wife was still there and they were happy together. Suddenly, he heard knocking on the door.
Also das ist alles jetzt schon der Kerl, die drehen das einfach nur
because
um.
that meant he could take it out on whoever decided to bother him. There was nobody there. He almost felt disappointed, but before he turned to walk away, he suddenly noticed something down the hall.
An einer nahegelegenen Wand war der riesige Schatten einer Katze, mit der einer erfüllten Gestalt vor ihm.
He noticed a shadow of a cloaked figure standing ahead.
Das ist die Susan. Oh, jetzt spielen wir ihn? Nee, okay.
He stopped again. He couldn't believe his eyes.
Katzenmörder auf seine Tür geschrieben.
Someone wrote "Cat Killer" on his door. He had a passion for trains. Although he hated being a train driver, he had always enjoyed watching them move. But now, his train model was moving all on its own. He was absolutely certain he'd left it switched off. And yet, there it was, running at crazy speed, remote control missing. Something was seriously wrong, and that something had entered his home now too.
Was ist, wenn es auch nicht seine Wohnung ist? Was ist, wenn es meine Wohnung ist? Und in Wahrheit bin ich derjenige, aber ich bin total
He
durchgeknallt.
hoped he was just imagining things,
Das wird mir jetzt hier nicht gefallen.
tired as he was. But there was another surprise waiting for him in his bedroom.
Cat Widow is here.
Cat Widow is here, was written all over the wall.
Wie im Traum ging er in die Küche, um etwas zu trinken. Nee, Polizei rufen tut er nicht. Wie im Traum ging er in die Küche, um etwas
As
zu
in a
trinken.
dream, he went to the kitchen to get a drink. There was no water. He knew there were valves in the basement that turned it off, but no one's been down there for years.
Ah, damit haben wir das
He
Wasser
felt
abgeschaltet.
sick. None of this made any sense. And yet, deep down, he knew what he did to the cats was wrong. There was a part of him that almost wanted to be punished. The part he tried so hard to hide. He thought he'd heard something in the corridor. Was there someone there with him? His head was spinning. He felt ambushed, trapped, like an animal. He had to get out of there.
Jetzt bekam er wirklich an, entschied sich, die Polizei zu
Getting
rufen.
really scared now, he decided to call the police. His phone was of no use. The SIM card had been removed, and that wasn't even the worst part. There was a photo of a black cat set as screensaver. He remembered this cat. He'd watched that strange pest control man put it in a cage and into his van. He'd looked at it through the window for a while, then pulled the curtains and went to bed. He stopped, paralyzed. He'd heard something right in front of him. A whisper. More like a purr. She was there, in the dark corner of his living room, waiting. Black veil covering that pale, dead face. And yet, he could almost feel Cat Widow's eyes piercing through him.
Zieht mit einer Schrotflinte auf sein... Nee. Lüftete schnell den Schleier? Nein. Obwohl, die Maske soll er sehen, ne?
She came closer, like a ghost, and swiftly removed the veil.
Sieh meine grünen Augen.
She came back for him, to take him to the river, to make him pay for what he'd done. As he looked into her eyes, he could feel the world spinning around him, his knees go weak, his pants suddenly wet around his crotch. As much as he hated life, he didn't want to die either. Inside, he was just a big, stinking coward. And then he fainted.
Mhm. Das war wohl zu viel.
Did you see his face? I knew he'd fall for this.
Yeah, we scared the living shit out of him. Now that's teamwork. Are you sure he won't know it was you, though?
Oh, he probably will, once he's had time to think about what happened. But he's too proud to ever admit he's been beaten by a woman. I know him just about enough to know that.
Let's hope so. I don't want you to get in trouble because of me.
No. That was something I had to do for myself.
Ja, aber habt ihr euch das genau
and I
angeschaut?
feel much better for it.
Was war mit seinem Rechner?
The only problem now is that we still haven't found Eye of Adam. Because it definitely isn't Bryan. The only problem now is that we still haven't found Eye of Adam. Because it definitely isn't Bryan.
Let's cross him off the list.
Tja, jetzt haben wir ein Problem. Da ist noch mal unsere Wohnung übrig. Was nun?
Well, that means we've checked everyone. We've hit a brick wall. Perhaps I was wrong.
Habe ich einen
Maybe
Laptop?
he doesn't live here at all.
I think we need to sleep on it. And we might get some more ideas in the morning. Shall we head back home?
Yeah, I do feel tired. You're right, we need some sleep. Really wish there was an elevator in this building.
Oh ja. Viel Treppensteigen gewesen.
What's that? A note? What does it say, Mrs. A?
You will not believe it. Meet me at midnight, both of you. I will wait. Flat 5. Door will be open. Do not fear. Eye of Adam.
Zimmer 666, ne? Sieht ganz so aus.
That 5. That's the old guy. Can't be.
Oh, das war das.
It can't be him.
I guess we'll find out. At midnight. We've got a few hours until then. Let's get some coffee.
Das ist wieder der Keller. Warum hier? Okay.
It's just you and me, my love. No one will find us here.
Ah, das ist die Mauer, die zu war.
Stop worrying, Ivy. It will be all right. I will always love you. You know that.
Ja, da
I'm
kam
gonna
ich aber
make
nicht
you
rein.
all better.
Elektroschock. Krank. Ja, wie hieß das nochmal? Silence, Quiet Haven Hotel, ne? Ja, genau, Quiet Haven Hotel. Das war's. Kapitel 7. Nicht den Troll füttern. Ja. Guter Rat. Haben wir hier eine Pausenmöglichkeit? Nein, haben wir nicht. Was bedeutet das? Geht also alles automatisch, ich bin jetzt nicht am Lenken. Fast Vollmond. Mitternacht. Geisterstunde. Also sobald ich hier irgendwie Pause machen will, werde ich hier einen Break machen. Aber es scheint momentan nicht zu gehen. Ah doch, jetzt geht's. Alles klar. Bis demnächst.